It is January 21, 2020. Hello, my name is Julie Malcolm. I am Jamaican. I am an educator and I am an MPhil PhD student at the University of the West Indies in Mona, St. Andrew, Jamaica. The purpose of this recording is to solicit your help in advocating for the end to the sabotage that I have been experiencing at the University of the West Indies, and specifically by my formerly appointed research supervisor, Professor Hubert Devonish. At his hands, I have experienced abuse of power, academic dishonesty, and defamation of my character. The evidence for this is in his own handwriting. Professor Hubert Devonish is my sole witness and the only witness that I really need. On May 10th, 2017, Professor Devonish completed my UWI progress report. Now, the progress report is just like the report card you'll get in high school or prep school, primary school from your teachers, except for this one. Professor Devonish commented on my research that I was in the process of completing, still am. He also commented on my ability to continue toward completion for this research, and he gave a glowing report. In his words, my research was, let me see if I can find his exact words. Right. He had said, student had originally intended to focus on transcripts of the Tivoli inquiry using an experiment to triangulate findings. She decided to shift focus with my approval. Student restructured study, produced a very detailed experimental design, and implemented same to collect the bulk of the data required for the study. Impressive progress, excellent. And when he was asked at the end of the report form to specify whether I should continue or not, he ticked the box that indicated that I should be allowed to continue my research. However, about 24 hours later, on the 11th of May 2017, Professor Devonish wrote a 5-page letter to the University of the West Indies where he stated the exact opposite. He laid claim to the 28-page analytical plan that I had submitted to him, which outlined the way forward for my research and the work that I had already done. He defamed me in stating that I lacked the competence required to complete the research. After all, it wasn't even mine, right? It was his. He also abused the power of his office and not mentioning that I had requested a change of supervisor. Instead, he told the university that he no longer wished to serve as my supervisor because I lacked the competence required of a grad student who is moving toward completing a PhD. Between May 10 and May 11, only one thing happened. That's May 10, 2017, May 11th, 2017, a 24-hour period. And that is toward the end of our meeting on May 10th. Professor Devonish asked if I wanted to return to him for supervision because you see on the, I think it was the 17th of February, that same year, 2017, I told Professor Devonish that the level of discourtesy in his interactions with me could no longer be tolerated. You see, I am a teacher. I empower students every day, and it just seemed out of character for me to be asking students to stand up and speak out regarding their concerns while I was allowing myself to return every single Friday to this gentleman who had no understanding regarding the level of respect that is required in a conversation between human beings. And so I told him in February that I wouldn't return, and this was following on the heels of our November-December WhatsApp conversation where I just outed him, stating that I can no longer continue. You need to be more respectful in the conversations that we have. And he basically told me it's either a degree or respect, and I had to select which one I wanted. And so, whereas I had attended consultations with him since even before his appointment from summer 2015 until December 2016, I just couldn't in my within my heart continue. So for semester 2 of the 2016-2017 academic year, I only went to one consultation, and that was February 2017, where I pointed out to him where I was, where my data was leading me, and where I'm likely to go, and I presented him with information, and he just continued being disrespectful. So on May 10th, that was when he chose to ask me, you're serious about this? Is it that you're really not going to come back? Or is it that you're thinking of coming back? Because you're here now for me to complete your progress report. And I informed him that the progress report was, or I reminded him rather, because he knew, the progress report was a requirement of the university. And having been caught up in my research and the excitement of it, because this really is an exciting journey, I completely forgot, and I guess he forgot too, because you ought to have a progress report done for you at the end of each semester. And it was May, I didn't have any done, and the office was just knocking on my door. Julie, go get your progress report. We have none for you. So that was the reason for me going to him. That was the reason for me giving him my 28-page analytical plan, for him to have an understanding of where I was at that time, because I had not been to him for the semester all but once. So I wanted him to make an informed decision about the work I had done and my aptitude for going forward. And the report was awesome on the 10th of May, but on the 11th of May, he told me, I told him that, I really confirmed I'm not coming back. This disempowered discourse is not something that I wished to be a part of, and my tolerance level is just way down to 0. So I'm really going to ask for another supervisor. We ended the conversation, I thought, amicably. I left the office with my report, only to find out, get the May 11th letter about a week later, on the 19th of May, via email, where he was saying all those horrible things about me, which were the exact opposite of what he had said on the written on the 10th of May on the official UWI documentation. You see, and this doesn't make any sense, because it is impossible for me to create research that Professor Devonish deems as excellent, while at the same time accepting the status of being an idiot, an incompetent researcher. The two just cannot go together. If I'm an idiot, I did not create the research. If I created the research, I can't be an idiot. The two just do not go together. So it was wrong for him to claim my research. It was wrong for him to defame me. It was wrong for him to abuse the power of his office. And in terms of my competence, the research stands by itself. I will do a recording about the details of my research, the focus of my research, in a subsequent post. But in addition to that, I do have the qualifications to do the research. I do have a Master's of English degree from the UWI Mona. I do have a bachelor's degree from the UWI Mona. I am a trained teacher, having served 3 years at the Michael University, and I have been teaching for approximately 20 years. In terms of having the skill set to complete the research, I do, and the presence of the research is proof that I do have it. Stay tuned for my next installment. Thank you for listening. Please share if you feel so led.